Hello, my name is Bill Leininger, and I'm a divorce attorney in Staten Island, New York. Today I'd like to give you 5 helpful hints as to how you can select the right divorce lawyer for a case in Staten Island, New York. My first suggestion is to use a divorce specialist. Now that may sound very easy. It's actually quite difficult in New York. The reason is no divorce attorney in New York is permitted to call himself or herself a divorce specialist. We do not have board certification in New York, and therefore our ethics department says we're not allowed to use that designation as a divorce specialist. Well, how then are you going to find out whether the lawyer that you're thinking about hiring is really a divorce specialist? The simplest way is to ask that attorney what percentage of his or her professional responsibilities are devoted exclusively to divorce and family law matters. Unless the lawyer tells you that at least 90% of his or her time is devoted exclusively to family law and divorce matters, in my opinion, as a divorce attorney with 32 years of experience handling divorce matters, you don't have a real divorce specialist. You want an attorney who devotes between 90 and 100% of his or her practice just to family law matters. Family law changes so frequently. It's so much easier for an attorney to be knowledgeable about the family law and divorce field if he or she only devotes themselves virtually totally to the field of divorce and family law. So that's the first question. What percentage of your professional practice, Mr. or Ms. Attorney, is devoted exclusively to divorce and family law matters? It should be at least 90%. The second issue is, does your attorney have substantial trial experience handling divorce trials and family court trials? Now you may say, why does it matter? It matters because while we hope your case is going to settle so that your legal fees will be fairly reasonable, there's a possibility that if your spouse is unreasonable, that we may have no choice, be unable to settle the case, and we may have to let a judge decide. You want to know if your lawyer has substantial trial experience. The easiest way to be fairly confident that your lawyer does have that trial experience is to make sure that the lawyer has been practicing family law and divorce law for at least 20 years. Over the past 10 to 15 years, we've seen tremendous pressure by judges on attorneys for divorcing couples to settle their case. It's constant pressure to settle the case. And therefore, there are plenty of divorce lawyers with 5, 10, and possibly even 15 years of experience who have never tried a complicated divorce trial in their life. So you want to ask the lawyer, how many years have you been practicing divorce and family law? If the lawyer has at least 20 years experience, the odds are quite good that he or she will have substantial trial experience and will be able to try your divorce case if settlement negotiations fail. My third suggestion is to see whether or not the attorney you're thinking about hiring is simply too busy to handle your case, too busy to give you the time that is needed to properly represent you. Now, of course, you can ask the lawyer, how busy are you? But that's not going to be very helpful. From a practical point of view, I find that the easiest way to see how busy your lawyer is to see how long you have to wait for that initial consultation appointment. I know lawyers that are so busy that their next consultation appointment is not for 3 or 4 weeks. That's a bad sign. That lawyer is probably not going to have enough time to handle your case appropriately. A divorce attorney who has an active practice yet is not overbooked should definitely be able to meet with you within 7 days of you calling to make the appointment. If your proposed divorce attorney can see you in 2, 3, 4 days, that's a good sign that he or she is not overwhelmed with too much casework to do. My fourth suggestion is when you go see the proposed divorce attorney, this attorney you're considering hiring, does he or she do all the talking, or do they listen? You want a divorce specialist who listens to you. if they interrupt you frequently and make you feel that they're talking down to you and that he or she knows all the answers, you probably have the wrong attorney. Your divorce attorney should spend at least the first 10 or 15 minutes of that initial meeting listening to you, getting the facts right, listening to what your priorities are. Extremely important. You want a divorce attorney who will listen to you, who will listen to what your priorities are. And lastly, I'm going to ask you to ask the lawyer that you're considering hiring, what will happen to the retainer deposit that I give you? Now that may be $2,500, $5,000, $10,000, or even more. Does the lawyer keep all retainer deposits in his or her escrow account and only withdraws money from the escrow account each month when they render an itemized bill to you? That's the way you protect yourself. However, there are certain sentences that a divorce attorney can put into his or her retainer agreement that will actually let that lawyer take your entire retainer deposit and spend it the next day. Not a good idea. So make sure that the attorney agrees in writing that any retainer deposit you give that lawyer will be kept in escrow and will not be removed from escrow until they render an itemized bill for that month. If you follow these 5 suggestions, I'm pretty confident that you're going to find the right divorce attorney to handle your case in Staten Island. Thanks.